Do you remember when someone took advantage of you? Not just as a friend, but as somebody who was there for you to help you to reach your goals, dreams, objectives, to be successful, happier, healthier. Well, today's episode, we're going to discuss today about life and business coaching. It's not always about coaching. And I do remember when I started my business in 2010, that my very first moment, I walked into a networking group. I was being approached by the business coach who told me, "Hey, you, my name is such and such." I said, "My name is Mario Bekes." I was so proud. I started my one-man band business and I will make a difference in this planet. Well, it turns out that I end up in tears, being 38 years old man with a family, with the kids. I go home crying. Why is that? I couldn't believe it, that somebody who's supposed to be there to inspire me, motivates me, tells me following: "You, Mario Bekes, you need a speech therapist. You're never gonna succeed." And guess what? I take this to close to my heart, very close to my heart. I should know different. Turns out that this coach becomes my client later on. But he doesn't deal with me, he deals with my stuff because he knows what he told me. But let's go talk about who are the coaches and what regulations, what qualifications you need to become the coach. Let's go start with Australia. I live in Australia, Sydney, and there is no explicit regulation in Australia that requires professional qualifications for anyone to practice as life or business coaches. There are, however, some industry norms and best practice that coaches follow, may or may not. Technically, you can become a life or business coach in many jurisdictions without diploma or membership in any professional body, because the coaching industry is generally unregulated and there is no legal barrier to admission. One thing I want you to know from the start. For those who don't know me, my name is Mario Bekes. I'm the Guinness World Record holder. And today we're gonna dive into this topic. Very deep, we're gonna dive into this topic about business coaches, lifestyle coaches. Every my investigation, it's fact-based, not opinion. And when people ask me, how do I conduct these investigations? Well, simple as that. This is not a promotion. This is my book written with Professor Clive Smallman as well. Workplace investigations and crime investigative and interviewing techniques. So I'm using this as a framework for every my investigation and people I'm dealing with and people who work for me. However, coach is not somebody who just tells you what to do. This is the problem in society as a general. Everybody can be the coach, lifestyle or business coach. No qualifications, no diploma, no degrees, nothing. Yes, you can have some type of qualifications in your life, but basically nobody asks you. You need to have insurance for your business and look, I'm the business coach. One thing I learned in military. When I started my career at age 14, I went in military school. Hello, Comrade Mario reports to the duty. I was 14 and a half years old. And I started my journey in military. Every my professor, every my teacher, every my drill instructor, he done the following. They will tell me what to do, when to do, with what, but most importantly, how, which not just theoretically, but as well need to do practically. Do you remember when somebody took advantage of you by telling you he can or she can deliver the mission, goals for you, reach your stars, objectives, goals, and yet they never showed you how to do it? In theory, everybody knows how to talk. One trend I noticed on social media is the popularity of personal coaches. Everyone loves to say and share what they know. Show me how you did it. Not just talk, show me. At least I can show you with everything what I do. Every third or fourth post on my Instagram feed appears to feature a quote from a guru promoting the ideal existence. And this is very dangerous. Why is that? Because of the low entry barriers, more people are declaring themselves instructors, which poses as a number of issues. To be clear, I am not a coach. I am the mentor to quite a number of successful business people. I had coaches in business, life, and others over the years, and even having today, for me, being 51 years old, I'm competing in a Masters boxing competition for the world title in a few weeks' time. And my coach, he's training with me. He doesn't sit on the side, he shows me. So I have a very positive and significant impact on my life with my business coach and my personal coach in boxing. However, many of the most successful people in business, sports, and life have had coaches. A qualified coach can considerably progress your life or work, and the growing impetus for well-being is fantastic. But reading the book Secret of Seeing by Tony Robbins or Dr. Brene Brown TED Talk will not provide you with the knowledge or capacity to help others through the big breakthroughs, healings, or lifestyle changes that they must make either individually or professionally. We all want the best for ourselves, our families, and our jobs, and to be honest, we want it all now. But I understand because we are all just humans. But how much can you actually rely on social media coaches? How? Let's go back and make a circle back. When I was in military and when I was in intelligence services, I was not called a coach, but you have a mentor there who will show you how to do it. You get the books, it's a theory, yeah, but that's it. Boom. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a theory. So how you can rely on social media coaches, on life coaches, on social media? Well, let me put this into your perspective. Life coaching is not always about coaching, as I said beginning. There is one example of the potential scope and financial impact of the life coach fraud. Do you agree with me? We all agree that it's always about money in the end. Money in the end. You remember when I asked you a question? Do you remember when somebody took advantage of you, grabbed your money, break your emotions, and left you empty-handed and broken heart? So let's go talk about something what's called Lighthouse. It's a company. Lighthouse, it's an international group founded by businessman Paul Waugh, has gathered hundreds of thousands of pounds in donations from its clients through allegedly unethical and dishonest practices. Paul Waugh is a South African native, claims to have become multimillionaire by the age of 35 and have to invent a revolutionary method of assisting people in fixing their spiritual well-being. Well, this is like, pick up the phone, 1-800, I want to be spiritual well-being. Yeah, I'll do this from the distance, from South Africa. But my time, it's cost. Everybody knows how to learn how to sell the bullshit online. I'm telling you, when I work for my clients, I'll catch you and I prove my clients how they're doing, the modus operandi and what they did, how they did, even who told them how to do things. Now, before you fall for the victim for somebody else online, I want you to take it close to your heart. This is investigation. Facts, not opinion. And Paul and the Lighthouse took millions of pounds of people. There are 4 levels of spiritual development, he says. And now working through the 4 levels of spiritual development is required for the old Lighthouse membership. Why not 1? Why not 2? 4, because of course it's some money. Only Waugh, the creator, has reached level 4. Nobody else can do it, of course. Everyone else is still in chaotic, childlike state at level 1. And it was claimed that negative influences in their lives, most of them their closest relationships, were the greatest impediment to advancement. Says the guy who only reached sublime level number 4, everybody's number 1. Lighthouse makes a concentrated attempt to isolate coaches from their family members, who are subsequently convinced to donate increasing quantities of money to the organization. Well, Dolce Gabbana, hello. Why not? And how they find for him? Social media. Look at me. And people say like, of course, we all have the problems. We all face the obstacles. We all hit the walls. You think I did not? You think spending 5 years in a combat didn't left the marks on me? Of course it did. And I have the obstacles in my life. Still have today. But would I just go somebody online offer me solution? Don't be naive. Lighthouse done this. People donating money to organization. It is stated that the new recruits are encouraged. Courage to reveal their innermost secrets with their mentors during sessions that the group leaders record and save. Sounds like Scientology, right? New recruits are typically vulnerable as a result of divorce, depression, or previous abuse. That's what pissed me off, when you take advantage of people who are vulnerable. However, these members are then allegedly pressured into investing tens of thousands of pounds, usually by taking out loans that put them in debt without any official agreement or receipt. This is the fraud. When somebody offers you something, contract considers from three parts: offer, consideration, acceptancy, and or not acceptancy. However, every contract, even verbal, has a need to have some type of agreement. Is this in witnessing by somebody or somewhere? But if you being asked to give the money without any agreement, any consideration or receipt or something like this, most likely you've been taken for advantage. But of course, we all believe. You think I didn't believe somebody in my life? Oh, there was several people. I paid substantial amount of the money, but I learned my lesson. Now, what happens when you hire a life coach to manage your life? Let me start with that story with the Jeff. Who is Jeff? Jeff was very ambitious but aimless when he met a Lighthouse employee at a self-improvement webinar and was offered personal coaching. Of course, why not? Webinar online. He informed Jeff that he was personable, eager to learn, and dedicated that under his supervision, Jeff had improved his speaking and writing skills. Do you really believe that's possible? Okay. Enrolling in the £10,000 discipline program to receive a year of more intensive supervision makes sense. And to invest another £25,000 to become associate member and become closer to the famed movement creator Paul Waugh. When Jeff's girlfriend became aware of how many hours he was spending on the phone with his mentor, and how reliant he was on that mentor approval in all circumstances, including the relationship, she reported the issue to authorities. And as I said at the beginning, when somebody offers you something online, it's gonna take advantage of you, guys. If you truly believe that you're gonna learn any skills by just watching somebody's screen, no, you will not. There are several levels and ways how you're gonna learn things, but your coach needs to show you in person. If you can't show me how to reach or get those results by your examples, being next to me or show me, open your laptop, draw me, don't fall for that predicament. Don't, because you will find yourself in such a bad situation. Without money, being broken, being left and abandoned by their friends, your family, everybody else. Now, when Jeff's girlfriend, she reported this to authorities, obviously things didn't go very well. Another former Lighthouse member was taking medications for a long-standing anxiety. Of course, issues. When he met the man who would become his mentor at a networking event, he claims, "I felt seen and heard." That's what Guy says. Most components of his story are similar to Jeff's, including the money, the increasingly long phone talks with the Lighthouse, and his reliance on it. Despite the fact that organization looked to be attempting to keep Jeff away from his fiancée, he was successful in keeping Anthony away from his medication. Lighthouse meticulously chronicled everything, including each mentor's private confession and secrets, and one of the group members' responsibility was transcription of the daily call recordings, as well as a proofreading and editing. Guys, I can't emphasize enough to you why it's important that you do your own research. We come to this a little bit later. When you go to the church, and I was an altar boy for almost 10 years, and I was servicing the priests and everything else. And I remember when it comes to the sacrament of the confession, the priest never brought with him pen and paper. Never. And he's like, let me transcribe everything. How controlled person you must be about everybody, anybody. That's what we know, what was recorded and how it's recorded. But how was cataloged all of this, by words, by issues, by the problems, that's something different. One thing is record everything, but one thing is how to person using this. So Paul was obviously cataloging those issues, those transcriptions in different way. So he knew how to do it. Scientology does this same, Church of Scientology does this same thing, but we can make a parallel between these two. But guys, if you go to your mentor and he requests from you to, without your knowledge, records everything and then transcribe, you can sue that person, because no coaches can do this without signing contract with you. Not just NDA, non-disclosure agreement, or there's a different clauses. You need to find your lawyer who's going to write this contract before you go to business or life coach. Because guys, I guarantee you one thing, your data, it's everywhere. I go into these networking events, people talk to me, I can hear it, I can see it. People love to whisper. I have my coach. Of course, my coach doesn't ask me how much money did I make last week or what did I eat or this and that. We talk about topics which is related to my business. Same with my boxing coach. Of course, he's a more than coach. He's like a father to me, because he sees me, I'm suffering and I'm like, I'm overweight, I'm an old guy, but I'm pushing myself. So he tries to make it easier for me. But if you go to business coach or life coach and they're recording your conversation with them and they're cataloging and they're recording this in a different shape, size, or form, it's not just a writing. But guys, there's a video, there is audio, there's cover surveillance, there is over surveillance. You don't know this. According to the Paul Waugh, they have nothing to hide. However, because members are aware that every confession is recorded if they leave. Do you understand? Now it's a blackmailing. It works to keep them occupied and further entangled in. So what's the Paul Waugh web? One young lady, that's her story, she's been subjected to child sex abuse. That's a terrifying experience. That's a horror. When she tried to escape Lighthouse, she overheard Waugh's voice telling her that everything had been filmed and her diaries had been saved. You are so fucked up, Paul says. That's what he says. Now, he says, you come from a long line of liars, snakes and jerks. You're a cynical little old witch. She began to believe he was correct, adding to the horrible psychological anguish she had already suffered. I mean, what type of person you must be to use somebody else, vulnerable situations, information they give you in the biggest confidence, and you throw on them like, you're not a politician. Only politicians can do this and go unpunished. Anyway, that's what he done to this young lady. As a result, millions of dollars continue to stream into Lighthouse account. Your money. Doesn't need to be Lighthouse, but you're giving somebody else. Half of which went to Paul Waugh, who's living in a mansion while his employees were forced to live in shared accommodation because he's a sublime level. Different flows appears to have been exploited in different ways. Jeff received acclaim and blandishments, whilst Anthony was promised self-actualization, support, a little more in exchange for grieving refugee for young females. Then, after sufficiently weakened outright bullying, depleting their financial resources while isolating and monopolizing their time and energy. What else? This is what he was doing. He was exploiting people, their vulnerabilities, took the money, removed them away from their families, and then he will dump them. However, truth is slowly revealing. According to Daily Mail, Lighthouse made £2.4 million from its mentoring program after things got going and information began to trickle out. Paul was said to have collected more than half of Lighthouse International Group profits. Let's go say £1 million. That's about 2.2 million Australian dollars. Paul Waugh referred to the charges made by several media outlets and individuals as a malicious smears. He goes on to state that Lighthouse members claims that they were forced to invest tens of thousands of pounds in the organization were false. So he told everybody, no, they're lying, I'm correct. Everybody else is lying, I'm correct. Jo Holmes, a primary school teacher, claims that when she asked for a receipt for her £19,000 investment and documentation of its use, Paul Waugh responded by labeling her as a psychopath, implying that her actions made her a threat to the students she taught. She later tried to warn others by posting her concerns about Lighthouse on the internet, but the group protested to her school principal and threatened legal action. Does that sound familiar? When you have all your followers believing you at first and they doing your dirty job. Paul, on the other hand, has denied all allegations. Of course, he will not admit. And different weaknesses were exploited in diverse ways this time around. However, you're going to be caught in your lies because one person is going to influence another and third to come out. It's critical that you practice due diligence completely, analyze all available information, and always exercise great caution when seeking information on social media, or more importantly, when choosing to pay for or spend your money. Guys, I'm doing investigation for a living, and it breaks my heart to see how people exploiting either system or they're exploiting or being exploited by the individuals who claim they're gonna give them earth and heavens, milk and honey. Online, just talk to me. It doesn't work that way. For one simple reason, you can get taste what's happening online. However, your coach, and I'm inviting you, ask your business or life coach to show you how to do it. No, when, with what, why, this big saying, when you find your why, you need to cry from happiness, excitement. That's the biggest bullshit I ever heard. Why? I know why. I don't need to be reminded why myself, but how to do it. If you tell me I need to do something, how to do it. Don't elaborate me in theory. Everybody knows how to do theory. But guys, reality is totally different. Don't be taken as a fool online. Don't believe everything or what you hear on social media. Do your own diligence. Seek advice. I'll share something with you before I complete this episode. This guy who told me that I need a speech therapist, he was somehow right, because 2 years later with my first contract, I started employing people, and I couldn't understand all legal means in a contract given to me, and I employed a person. Cost me dearly later on. I'm not ashamed to say this. I was being taken advantage, yes, because I didn't have the money to go to the lawyer, and lawyer, I find out later, would cost me maybe $100 to review this contract and tell me, what needs to be changed, how needs to be changed. If I ask, I didn't. Regrettably, cost me later on much more money. Don't be taken as a fool by nobody. Your money, it's hard-earned money. At least, theory is one thing, but show me how to do it. Thank you for watching Life the Battlefield. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, a comment. Let me know what do you think about life and business coaches. Thank you.